Hey everybody, Tim Norris here.
Emily.
Chicken.
And Carmen.
And together we make GreyElephant Gaming! I guess I have been nominated Geek of the Week, so that's the purpose of this video. First and foremost, thank you Scott Morris from Crits Happen for nominating me. And this video is going to be about all the things you probably don't know about us and probably even much more. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. For my day job, I actually work in construction. I love working with my hands. I've been doing it for a long time now. And in fact, that wall that you see right there actually used to not even exist. That used to be an open loft area. The door right there, I installed that as well. And that door leads to my game room. You want to go up and check it out? Of course you do. Come on, let's go. Here we are. Come on inside. This is our game room. And I built everything in here, the closets, put up the ceiling fan, which now you can't open up that closet door with it spinning because I put it too close. So I got to move that eventually. The beautiful part about having a game room is that you get to leave all your games set up on the table. You don't have to worry about kids. You don't have to worry about animals or anybody coming in and knocking your parts around. If you're in mid-game, stop, go to bed, wake up the next day, you can finish your game. It's brilliant. Lock the door, you know. That's the beauty of having a game room. Why don't we go ahead and we're going to start. We'll take a peek here inside these closets real quick and show you what's in here. Games! Big surprise, right? HeroScape. Used to have a ton of this stuff. I used to have so much of this stuff, it easily would have filled up this entire closet and then some. Sold off a lot of it. We just never played. Working away. Oh, these cases here are full of my all-time favorite game. I'll show you what that is here in just a bit. Got some other games here I found on clearance and whatnots. And we got our actual big game just with all on the shelves. We don't, get around to playing all of these. I wish we could. So many great games, I'll be honest with you. So little time, unfortunately. I find some of these at Goodwill. I actually find a lot of stuff at Goodwill. I love bargain hunting. I'll probably talk about that here in just a little bit later. Super Dungeon Explorer, I love that game. Wish I had more time. Tokiato, which you saw on the table. Fireball Island, I actually did find that at Goodwill. That is excellent find. For $5, still in the box, 100% complete. Hoplomachus, Broadsides and Boarding Parties. Bet you haven't seen that in forever. Great stuff. Let's take a look at our other closet here real quick. Woo! Down there at the bottom are Weapons and Warriors. Have you ever heard of that game before? That was probably one of the very first games my wife and I ever bought. We were probably married maybe 3 months we bought that stuff. Crossbows and catapults, much like Weapons and Warriors. Of course, we got even some of that stuff. And working up, I got probably about 6 battle balls up there at the top of the cabinet. I find them at Goodwill all the time, and the figures are excellent, and I just have a hard time passing them up. I got some posters up over here that Star Wars. I do like Star Wars, and not as much as I did when I was a kid, but Empire Strikes Back, I still get chills. I love that movie so much. I think even as an adult, I've never been able to get over that one. So, got my Colts. I am a Colts fan as well, Indianapolis Colts. So, let me talk about that for a minute, because I'm disappointed in my Colts. They had the chance at the perfect season a few years ago when they lost the Super Bowl to New Orleans. I've never quite gotten over that, so I'm not quite the Colts fan as I used to be. Boba Fett, by far my favorite bounty hunter in Star Wars. Well, let's face it, he's the best character in Star Wars. I got a little figure here. This poster here of him actually is signed by the actor who played Boba Fett, the artist who made this picture, and it is actually numbered, limited edition. I love that poster. My wife got this for me for our anniversary. I think this is so awesome. I love snow globes, but I love, then you get Star Wars. And if you wait just for it, it's coming. There we go. Is that awesome? My wife's awesome. There we go. We'll put that back up there. That's one of my favorite gifts she's ever gotten me. Aside from Mr. Shogun Godzilla. Yeah, ain't that awesome? Now, when I was a kid, I was extremely poor. I never really had much money, so I didn't really have many toys. My friends had toys, a bunch of snooty little... But I never did. So I actually... That's what he does! He launches a fist! Isn't that awesome? And look... I love this. My friend had one of these, and I actually saw him at Gen Con one year. And I tell you what, it was just... I pointed it out to my wife. I was like, oh my gosh, a Shogun Godzilla. She bought it for me for our anniversary just a few months later. I thought that was great. And she also got me this game. It's the Godzilla game, and I remember my friend had this as well. I love Godzilla, if you can't tell by the t-shirt. He's my favorite childhood movie monster. Godzilla game here, I'm missing a few of the little ships, but other than that, what it does, it just spins around and Godzilla will come launching out here and he'll bite the ships. I had to work on the spring to get him to actually chomp on the ships and pull them out, but I'm missing just a few of the ships. If you know where to find some, man, let me know. I would love to be able to complete it. I still play this. That is our game room, aside from one other thing. Why don't you sidle right over here? I'm going to open up the cabinet. What's in the box? There's something to see. Ready? Inside this cabinet was one of our first games we ever did tournaments on. Now, it's all cluttered in here, and I know it is, but these are full of a tactics. A tactics is a miniature skirmish game that was by Hasbro. I hate you, Hasbro, for discontinuing. But see, these little figures would launch out and knock each other over. They'd have lightsabers you could pull back, and you could knock each other. They actually had Star Wars, Marvel, see there, and Transformers. That was the 3 lines that they did, but they discontinued them because Hasbro does that with every game that they own. But speaking of a tactics, why don't I take you over here into the corner, and my wife and I got something to show off. These up here on the wall are actually our trophies that we won by playing in tournaments for a tactics. We went to Toledo, Ohio, and also Dayton, Ohio. Now, at Dayton, Ohio was the Queen City Smackdown by my friend Chris Marshall, and Pete Ruth, Superfly Pete, actually made this, and I won it. And then we went to Toledo, and we participated in the big TixCon tournament, okay? That was a long drive, too. We had little babies. But anyways, that's where these 3 cases came from. Now, they had the 3 genres with the Star Wars, Transformers, and Marvel, okay? So they had it to where separate you could participate in all of them. They had the one big one where they all meshed together. Separately, I won the Marvel one, and
I won the Transformers.
And then our niece Jessica came in second in the Star Wars one, right behind Pete Ruth, Superfly Pete. And then in the big one, the Master one, well, somebody's got 2 thumbs and won that. Who was it?
This guy.
This guy! That's right. And it was a lot of fun. We won all them figures. And then they had a little custom one. And he used to actually be on a base. But he broke off because my kids like to destroy stuff.
Tim's entry in the custom contest.
Yeah! And it should have won, but some stupid one won because, you know. Roar! You gotta admit, that's awesome. And he shoots this UFO fucking. Woo! That's awesome, ain't it? Anyways, let's move over to the next stuff. I've often been asked, how did I come up with the name GreyElephant? Well, I'll be honest, I did not come up with that on my own. It was actually a nickname given to me by my nieces and nephews when they were younger. When they were younger, they used to come over to my house every weekend, and we used to just play all day. If it wasn't playing outside in the yard football, we'd be inside playing hide and seek at night. We'd be playing Nerf guns, where we'd turn out all the lights and hunt each other down with flashlights. We'd climb in sleeping bags and race down the stairways, and even one time we raced down the stairway in a rocking chair. Yeah, it got crazy at times, but we had a lot of fun. Whenever one of them would end up getting hurt, which was inevitable because of all the crazy stuff we would do, they would always yell, "Hey, watch out, here comes the big gray elephant!" And they would all scatter, and it was a game then. And it just carried over to me to this day. I miss them kids a lot now that they're all grown up, but thank goodness I have kids of my own. I want to show you a picture of when I actually took them all to Star Wars Celebration 3. I made a collage of all of them and framed them up on the wall. And I'd like to take a look at that with you real quick.
And here's our collage we made from attending the Star Wars convention with our nieces and nephews. And as you can see, we did everything. We saw R2-D2, we met Darth Vader, posed with stormtroopers, even Jack Sparrow. I don't know why he was there, but he was. And we got some pictures with all of us. There's all the nieces and nephews there. And we just had a really great time.
It was awesome. Remember when I was telling you about my Super Dungeon Explorer set? Pooh! I painted all my miniatures in the base set. Hey, check them out. Now, this took me over 100 hours combined between me, my wife, my nephew, friends. But I did the majority of the work myself. This was a labor of love, but at the same time, I do have the expansion, the Caverns of Roxar. I have not even started on those because it was a labor of love, but at the same time, it was a very laborious love. So I don't know how quick I want to jump into it. I learned so much trial and error on how to paint just by having to paint them, and then I learned there's this purple cleaner you could put it in to have to take the paint off. I mean, it was just so much work, but it was fun, but I would by no means want to probably delve into it again anytime soon. I don't have time, to be honest with you right now. Wish I did. But anyways, now I promised you something else. And what I promised you was I was going to talk about my all-time favorite game. Monster Apocalypse. Definitely my favorite game ever published. We have so much fun. And I think it's because I was a Godzilla fan when I was a kid. This game had everything Godzilla, everything miniature that I love about gaming. Now,
I was so excited when I saw this at Gen Con because it reminded me of a video game where you smash the buildings and you fight each other. I think it's called Rampage.
Yeah, Rampage.
We love playing Rampage. You know, it's silly, but we like it. So
I love this game so much. I could not believe Privateer Press doesn't publish this anymore. I mean, really, I just don't even care for the company anymore because of it. I love it. By far, my favorite game ever made.
And it's not just the looks either. I mean, I was really blown away with the mechanics, how everything works. It just works really well.
I could play it in a box with a fox wearing socks, throwing rocks. Now, we got more stuff. We're going to talk about our books we like to read and so forth. So, let's move it on. Now, when I said we like Star Wars, I mean we like Star Wars. We've read a lot of books. This isn't even all of them. I think we have probably over 80 of the Star Wars books. Some have been loaned out, some have been lost or around the house, whatever. But the New Jedi Order was awesome. I remember reading those. In fact, Star by Star was by far my favorite Star Wars book ever.
Yeah, I started out reading the books thinking that, you know, all the romance stuff with Luke was really cool. But that got really boring for Tim. So he stopped reading them for a while until the New Jedi Order came out.
Romance schmomance, give me a lightsaber. So anyways, I actually have another series that I like to read, and I'm going to show it to you now. My other series that I absolutely love, Legend of Drizzt. Love these books. I'm about 3 books behind at the moment, but other than that, I have all of them, and I've read them. We also like to video game quite a bit around here. Actually, we started off Atari 7800, and we still have this. It still works, and every now and then we'll still break it out and play it. One of my favorite games was Joust, and we also have Ms. Pac-Man.
Yeah, we like these so much we just couldn't get rid of them.
No, couldn't. Went from there to the regular NES and Contra, Dragon Warrior. We've got a lot more games than this. We just thought we'd pick out a couple of our favorites. Genesis.
The Sega Genesis.
This was actually, as a kid, I loved the Nintendo, but I think the Genesis was actually my favorite system.
The Genesis is what we had when we were first married.
Yeah, we played it a lot.
My favorite game was Soldiers of Fortune, because we always play it together.
Shining Force 2, and Master of Monsters. Any of you guys out there remember any of these? Great games. Also, honorable mention would be Powerball, which we have all those. It's just a matter of finding them. We don't play them as much.
Nintendo 64.
Yeah. What was our favorite with that?
Mario Party 2.
2. It was by far our favorite.
It's still our favorite.
Played it with our nieces and nephews.
Our favorite Mario Party.
And for my nieces, actually, it'd be my nephews. Turok Rage Wars, we played this so much. That game was goofy fun.
And we still play it sometimes.
Yeah, every now and then. PlayStation 2, still have it. Never played this one hardly at all, but the one I liked the most was Gauntlet 7 Sorrows. Really liked that.
I never really got into the PS2 at all.
You never hardly played any of that, to be honest. Then, of course, like pretty much all of America, we do have 2 Wiis, actually. We have a Wii. And
then we also have the Wii U.
The Wii U. I was going to get into that. Which the Wii U is fantastic. For best game for this one, I'd probably say probably Kirby. I actually like it. Oh, and I love Donkey Kong Country. So, both of those. And for the Wii U, I would say it's probably Nintendo Land.
Mario Kart.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Mario Kart for...
and you can go online on the Wii with Mario Kart. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, and Animal Crossing.
Oh, yeah, we love Animal Crossing,
that's
too.
My game.
We actually had, because we had 2 Wiis, we had a Wii, and so we had 2 copies of Animal Crossing, so we would We are just that goofy around here.
We
okay?
would visit each other's villages.
We would visit each other's villages. It was fun.
And wear different costumes.
She would make sure she'd be of a different season than what my village was, so that we could collect bugs in each other's towns
and
catch the fish. Wow, lots of hours wasted on that, but we loved it. Anyways, so we are very well versed in video
like
gaming.
to game.
Yeah, all around.
Any game.
We're omni gamers. So let's move over to the next thing.
Here we see where GreyElephant does all of the video editing. Hey, that's not video editing.
No, this is StarCraft, my all-time favorite computer game. One of the coolest toys ever you can buy your kids is the Mario Kart Connect set. Is this awesome, Jake?
Yeah.
Yeah, watch this. Jake and I were left alone for a day when the girls went out and did their hair or whatever. This track was built in about 4 hours we probably spent. Check this out. These cars. If you were a kid growing up in the age I did, you would remember stompers. Stompers, that's what these things are, glorified stompers. But they race around. These are thwomps, and you can slam them down. Mario's batteries are kind of dead. That's the only thing. We got Goombas that swing, and then fireballs that come out of Bowser's mouth. This thing is hours and hours of fun. So much fun. Do you like this stuff, Jake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like all my stuff.
There's something else you should know about us. We're actually Jedi.
Or we pretend to be. In fact, when we went to the last Star Wars convention, we both wore these robes. Yes, we both did. I did dress up as a Jedi at one time. That little Ewok that Carmen has on her lap, she actually bought him at the last Star Wars convention we went to. And I think that little Yoda, didn't I get him for your birthday? Or
Yep.
Yeah? Okay. What you guys are seeing in here in these cases, these are all Star Wars figures that I have collected over the years. And in fact, this is not all of them. I don't collect them anymore, but I sure collected an awful lot of them. In fact, I think I'm well over 500 of them. If you look, they are all still sealed. And I collected from 1997, when it first came out with the Power of the Force. And I went all the way to, I think it was the Power... Oh, actually, I collected even these. These are cool. I like these guys.
Yeah, the kids like to open those.
Oh, they tried to. But a lot of these are really cool, especially these. I love the Cartoon Network ones. They were kind of my favorite, to be honest. Carmen's favorite character is Yoda, has always been. Mine's always been Boba Fett. But as you can see, we have an awful lot. I remember finding these. These were kind of hard to find, and I used to go to stop at so many stores so much to try to find this stuff.
Princess Leia.
Yes, help us, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're our only hope. And got a ton of these things, but I thought you guys might be interested in seeing it. Got a nice little collection here. I don't know if any of you guys collect Star Wars toys or figures or anything. This was, we got that from Celebration 2 of the Star Wars. In fact, we got 5 or 6 of him, but that's the George Lucas. It's his name backwards right here. That was pretty cool.
I remember standing in line waiting for Target to open so we could get a holographic Yoda.
Ah, yeah, he's probably somewhere in one of these boxes someplace. But we actually got a bunch of boxes in the attic as well that I did not pull out, but I thought you guys might like to get a little taste of just how much stuff we did collect over the years.
Hey, I wanted to talk a little bit about my Monster High collection.
Our Monster High collection.
And so I have a whole closet full of them.
How many do you have total, Emily?
94.
94 Monster High dolls.
Yes, as you can see, this is not all of them. There are more in boxes. So
And downstairs.
and scattered because we play with them.
Which one's your favorite, Emily?
My favorite's Claudine, but I liked Frankie. She was the first one that I saw when
This
I first
one's
got into
Claudine.
Monster High.
And this one's Frankie.
Okay. Mommy, which one's your favorite?
My favorite to start out with was Laguna because she's a sea monster. And I like her and all the sea monster customs. There's another Laguna.
Uh-huh. Who's your favorite
and
now?
there's my Dead Gorgeous Laguna.
Uh-huh. Who's your favorite now?
Now I would have to say Abby because she has a pet woolly mammoth.
That's really awesome. Emily.
She's an abominable snowman. So
She's an abominable snowman. Now, you made some customs too, right?
Yes.
You want to show those to everybody?
It took me forever. This is, if you've ever seen the Tim Burton movie Corpse Bride, this is the Corpse Bride.
Emily made that all by herself.
It was so hard removing all the makeup.
Mm-hmm. What else you got?
And then I have Sparks Trina. She was my first custom I had ever made. And then this was Cupid's sister before Cupid even came out.
She was supposed to be like a dark Cupid. It was from a show we watched.
Yeah.
Now, Emily, you like to draw too. You want to show everybody your picture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took me about 2 hours.
Emily drew that freehand, mind you, so she is quite the little artist.
Frankie, and look at this picture too. Look at Laguna that she drew.
Emily takes after her mom because her daddy can't draw even a smiley face. Emily is quite the little artist. She does really well. All right, girls. That is my little girl and her little collection, so bye-bye. Oh, and my big girl and her collection. Bye-bye.
Hey, it's Carmen from GreyElephant, and it's my turn to talk about me. I'm an artist. I've always been an artist. I'm creative in everything, and if I'm not happy. So I just thought I would show you this picture. I actually had a picture go in a museum when I was in high school. I won an award. This is not it, but it's similar. So there you go. Anyway, and then I made this other picture because I'm a huge Paul McCartney fan. And these are from when I was really young, you know, like 17. So the other thing that is my passion is homeschooling. And I just love having my kids with me all day. It doesn't take as long as regular school, and we have a lot of fun with it. I learned about homeschooling from this book right here called The Well-Trained Mind, written by Susan Wise Bauer. And what is so great about her method of homeschooling is that it is fun and interesting. Because what you do is you base your studies around a book like this that the kids love to look at. Check it out. They love it. Each time you read about a topic in this book, you go to the library and you pick up more books that are also interesting. And they love it. And you know what? They remember it. Why? Because they love it. So I actually wrote 2 homeschool curriculums based on this method. One is, of course, about ancient history, as you can tell by the books that I'm showing you, some of our favorites. And the other is about ecology. I called it Cultures and Creatures. So it had to do with ecology and also culture. Here's one of the spines, we call them, for that. And another spine had to do with where the animals lived around the world. Here's the other spine. And here's one of our books that were a lot of fun about China. And we did this in kindergarten, so the kids loved it. And here is a little secret. I love dragons. And this is like my favorite book about dragons because it's a really nerdy book. So, dragons, legends and lore of dinosaurs. And then we also have a children's museum that has an exhibit on dinosaurs and how a lot of the legends of dragons match different dinosaurs. It's awesome. Love it. So anyway, that's a little bit about me.
I hope you guys enjoyed this. I tell you, it has been a joy to make. Digging all this stuff out of the attic, filming it, and sitting in front of the camera and just talking about us and how we got where we are. It's been a blast. It's been like a stroll down memory lane for the two of us, and we've really, really enjoyed it. I feel like I've won an Oscar or something, and I should be up here like thanking a whole bunch of people. I can't do that, though, because ever since starting this, I have met so many great individuals. I would end up leaving somebody out because there's just too many. But thank you all, and you all know who you are. I do want to say thanks to Scott, though. You nominated me, and man, I really do appreciate that. I won't forget that. The number one person, though, I'd have to thank is my wife. She is just such a big, integral part of everything that I do around here. I can't do it without her. When you guys ask your questions this week, feel free to ask her as much as you guys want. In fact, ask her more than you ask me. I can't do what I do without her. She is that tied to GreyElephant Gaming. So ask away, man. I'm sure she'd be more than happy, and it's an encouragement for her to be recognized too, not just the man, you know. Subscribe. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Twitter. Check me out on Facebook. I've got a blog. Go to my profile. You'll find links to all that stuff. If you like what you see, subscribe, man. It's such an encouragement to have that. And if you have any advice to help me out, Any feedback, contact me privately. Let me know, man, because I'm always looking for ways to improve. Software will be coming later. It's just a matter of what I can afford at the time. Now, who will I pass the baton to or the crown to after I'm done? Well, if you look at the tracks, 4 reviewers have been nominated Geek in a Week in a row. That will end with me. And he or she, I'm trying to think of a word I can give you possibly to try to give you a little hint. Let's just say this person is very legendary on Board Game Geek. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.